Hey everyone, Robb from Rage Roll here, and I'm here to tell you about the recent doubles 40k tournament that myself and Craig participated in. I myself brought my Dark Eldar Cablelite list. It was lots of fun. I think I had 2 Archons, a Slith, 10-man group of Cablelites, 2 5-man Cablelites, 2 Raiders, Venom, and a Void Raven Bomber. And I was the Cabal of the Obsidian Rose, I believe, if that's the one that gives you the extra 6 inches of range on most of your weapons. And Craig brought his Death Guard. He brought with him a Plaguecaster, 2 Bloat Drones, a Blight Hauler, the Mephitic Blight Hauler, 1 5-man squad of Plague Marines that had 2 Blight Launchers, and I want to say he had one more thing in there, but I could be mistaken. So a very unusual Death Guard list. So that was our combined list, 750 points apiece, and the 40k doubles tournament that we play at our local store is casual. It's, have fun, roll some dice. Winning isn't everything. So how do we do? We came in 5th out of 10 overall. We had a record of 1-2. So won 1 game with a major victory, lost 2 with minor victories. So that was just enough to put us into the upper half. So first game was a minor loss. That was the retrieval mission, and that was against Harlequins and Imperial Guard. Harlequins, they had 3 Starweavers, basically whatever their version of the Venom is. And Imperial Guard had a bunch of tanks in the back. I think they were Basilisks, and I think they had a Leman Russ, and they had a bunch of dudes. It was Guard. I don't know. There were guys and tanks. But it was a very close match. It was probably my favorite match that we played of the entire day. Both of our opponents were great. I killed a Starweaver, if that's what it was, on an Overwatch because they blew up my Venom, and my 5 Cablelites, well, one of which had a blaster, popped out, and onto Overwatch, rolled a 6 to hit, successfully wounded, failed to save the 4 invulnerable that the Starweaver has, failed to re-roll, and then I rolled a 6 for damage, so it went kaboom, which was pretty fun and pretty awesome. But, overall, close game, had a lot of fun, nothing really more to add. Other than the Harlequin vehicles were looking hella fine. I will say hella fine. Game 2, that was our major victory, and that was simply no mercy. Kill each other, have fun, go at it. And that was against Space Wolves and Tau, and that's when I realized that splinter weapons are pretty good against Tau, and they're, what was that, broadside? It's the thing that's not huge, but it's big enough. Big enough that it's a target, and it doesn't count as a vehicle, and it's not Titanic, because it's maybe slightly bigger than a Dreadnought, and splinter weapons went right through that thing and shredded it. Space Wolf list was very melee oriented. Tau list was very shooty oriented, so in theory they actually worked pretty well together, but they did not roll well, unfortunately. I know I did lightning fast reflexes on my Void Raven Bomber turn 1, after I had dropped some bombs on some Blood Claws, and the entire Tau force shot at it, and a whopping 2 wounds went through of an entire 750 points of Tau shooting. Because they were hitting on 6s, because none of the marker lights went through. Wolves, on their first turn, demolished one of my Raider with Thunderhammers. They had Wolfen. And then it was kind of a landlock in melee. I don't think they took out any Death Guard units. I think Craig's guys remained relatively unscathed. Maybe a Plague Marine died. Maybe. But yeah, no, it was just not the best matchup. I think we were playing between my guys darting around and shooting, and in some cases out shooting the Tau, and the Death Guard just not going down from anything. It just was really in our favor. It was still a fun game. I'd like to play them again. They were good opponents, potentially at a different points value or with different armies, because they were both pretty good opponents. Last game was another minor loss, and this was against Necrons and another Dark Eldar player that I had played previously. And on a note, there were a lot of Necrons players. So there were 10 teams, which means there were 20 players total. 4 or 5 had Necrons. So that's 20 or 25% of a tournament was using Necrons, which I thought was pretty interesting. Lots of Xenos, I guess. And that was a minor loss. That was the Scouring. So 6 objectives. We actually had the inferior and superior objective right in front of us. And it just wasn't enough. My Void Raven Bomber got destroyed turn 1. I very quickly realized we didn't have the firepower to take down 2 groups of 20 Necrons, while we had Dark Lances and all other kinds of Dark Eldar trickery shooting at us. Also, he had a Blackheart patrol, so he was using Agents of Vect. So that was kind of stopping some of our stratagem usage as well. That was also a fun game. I mean, it was what it was. We tried to salvage it at the end, and towards the end, when all was lost, I was like, all right, I'm just going to charge stuff in there and have a good time and roll some dice, which we did. That's basically all I have on the actual doubles tournament. I can't wait for the next one. They did a quick survey at the end, and it resoundingly was we want more doubles tournaments, because I think they're a lot of fun, and I think the different compositions of having 2 different armies on one side, even if they can't directly interact, we consider them neutral armies, so they can't really benefit from buffs. But it really changes up some tactics, and it really makes you think, which is awesome. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in previous videos with these doubles tournaments, but the primary thing, like I said, is not winning. It's actually sportsmanship. So we fill up sportsmanship forms for each other after each match, and I think there's 5 criteria and 1 to 5 points each, so then you're getting anywhere from 5 to 25. And it's like rules knowledge, sportsmanship, how good the minis are painted. I don't remember the other 2, but there are 5 categories there. So, it's the people that actually scored highest on that get the highest prize, which I want to say is $60 a piece, so $60 for each person with in-store credit. It's not bad for a $20 entry. Of course, make sure you're following us on all of our different social medias. We're at Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, normal ReadyToRoll.com. All of our social media is the social media at Ready to Roll, or / Ready to Roll, with the exception of Twitter and Twitch, which are Ready_to_Roll. So make sure you're checking those out as well. If you are going to watch us on Twitch, Andrew will be streaming Gwent if you're into that kind of thing, and he's doing that Sundays from 2 to 4 p.m. So be sure to check that out. He just reached Master, and can he go all the way? We'll find out. I've been Rob from Ready to Roll. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you next time.